The chill snaked under the door frame even in August, a familiar harbinger of disquiet. I was 20, brimming with the reckless surety of youth, and declared my intention to mother over a tap of tea. "I'm going to Oakhaven." Her cup rattled against its saucer, the clatter echoing unnaturally loud in the oppressive silence of the parlor. Oakhaven, a town clinging to the desolate coast north of here, a place I felt inexplicably drawn to. A place I'd only seen in faded postcards. Her eyes, usually pools of warm hazel, turned to flint. "Don't speak such foolishness, Eleanor. Oakhaven is cursed. Haven't you heard the stories?" I scoffed, dismissing it as the ramblings of an anxious woman. But her grip tightened on my hand, her knuckles bone white. "Your Uncle Thaddeus, he went to Oakhaven. A bright, jovial man before. He returned different, empty, the light had gone out of him." Her voice dropped to a whisper, laced with ancient fear. "They said they whispered that the Faerie took him, that had glimpsed Elmsworth, the city that isn't there." Elmsworth. The name pricked my skin. Legend held that it was a city of breathtaking beauty, hidden within the mists and shadows surrounding Oakhaven, a place where the veil between worlds thinned to almost nothing, a place to which the Faerie spirited away mortals, never to be truly seen again. I spent weeks poring over obscure texts, local histories, and forgotten folklore, devouring every scrap of information about Oakhaven and its spectral twin. The more I read, the more convinced I became that there was something profoundly strange, something undeniably real, lurking beneath the surface of those old wives' tales. The lure of the unknown, the forbidden, became an obsession. I arrived in Oakhaven under a sky the color of bruised plums. The air was thick with the scent of brine, and something else, something metallic, like old blood. The town was a skeleton of its former self, buildings decaying under the relentless onslaught of the sea wind. The few residents I encountered wore expressions of perpetual unease, their eyes darting nervously, as if expecting something to emerge from the swirling fog that perpetually cloaked the town. The abandoned lighthouse at the edge of town became my focus. Locals muttered that it was a gateway, a place where Elmsworth was closest. One night, armed with a flickering lantern and a heart hammering against my ribs, I climbed the winding staircase to the top. The beam, long extinguished, cast grotesque shadows that danced around me. As I gazed out into the swirling abyss, a low, mournful hum filled the air. The fog began to writhe and coalesce, forming shapes that were impossible, terrifying. For a moment I saw it, Elmsworth, a city of impossible spires and shimmering lights, a place of unearthly beauty and unspeakable dread. A hand, cold and impossibly long, reached out from the fog, beckoning me closer. I stumbled back, the lantern falling from my grasp and plunging into the darkness below. The image shattered, the fog receding, leaving only the cold, empty sea. But the humming remained, a constant, maddening drum in the back of my mind. I fled Oakhaven the next morning, leaving behind my youthful bravado and replacing it with a gnawing, unshakable fear. Back home, Mother didn't ask where I'd been. She simply looked at me, a knowing sadness in her eyes. I saw a flicker of that same emptiness she described in Uncle Thaddeus. I tried to explain, to rationalize, but the words caught in my throat. The humming, it was still there. I knew with a certainty that chilled me to the bone that a part of me remained in Oakhaven, or perhaps in Elmsworth, a part that would never truly return. Now I sit here, years later, staring out the window as the evening mist rolls in, listening for the hum, waiting for the hand to reach out again, the pull of Oakhaven forever clinging to my soul.